Hello everyone, I'm Eduardo Marinho and I'm currently doing my postdoc with the Center for International Forestry Research, C4, on the cost of national and subnational REDD Plus initiative. Today we are going to focus on the cost of two subnational initiatives, one in Brazil and another in Indonesia. First of all, it's worth mentioning that together these two countries store more than two-thirds of the world's forest carbon and account for more than half of the world's forest emissions. So from that, and from this sentence coming from the Stern Review, curbing deforestation is a highly cost-effective way of reducing greenhouse gas emissions and has the potential to offer significant reductions very quickly. It also helps preserve biodiversity, protect soil and water quality. So from these two statements, so the importance of reducing greenhouse gases emissions from deforestation at a low cost, and the fact that the two countries that we've mentioned are responsible for high levels of emissions coming from deforestations, we decided to analyze the cost of two initiatives that are taking place in these countries. The protocol for collecting the data for this study is based on a 1 week spent with the proponents of the project. During this week, we analyzed financial documents on the planned activities of the project, and we also have several discussions with the proponents in order to understand how the costs relate with their activities. This information is aggregated yearly and input in a database where we can have costs that are that can be aggregated by categories, so personnel, contractual, travel, or assets, or by functions. So the functions that we've identified as the main functions that can appear on REDD Plus projects are policy and planning, protection and enforcement, ecosystem restoration, methodology and MRV, community development, education and communication, marketing, finance, and administration. So the two projects take place in two different institutional frameworks. First, in Brazil, we have a decrease in deforestation of 80% in the last 10 years, while in Indonesia, we have the highest increase rate of deforestation in the world. The Brazil The reduction of deforestation in Brazil is mainly due to the command and control activities run by the government, by the central government, which, while reducing deforestation, also are a big burden for local communities that have to comply with these measures. In Indonesia, REDD Plus appear as a big opportunity to curb deforestation and change the trend in the country. This mostly after the COP 2007 that took place in Bali. So in these frameworks, we have two different projects, the sustainable settlements in the Amazon, which the main goal is to improve the livelihoods of local population living in settlements in Brazil. It's worth mentioning here that deforestation have not decreased so much in these in settlements in Brazil, so among smallholders, and in particular in the settlements of intervention that are in the intervention zone of the sustainable settlements in the Amazon. The project also aimed to change into a change in behavior of the local settlers, and the main idea is to improve the incomes coming from the already deforested areas in the country. So the project lasts 5 years, and its annual cost is 2.25 million USD per year. In the Katingan peat conservation area, the main goal is to restore degraded peatlands, prevent forest conversion, And the duration of the project is 30 years. We have for an annual cost of 5.15 million USD. So the results of this methodology in these two projects show that the projects vary substantially on their duration, but also in the total cost of the project. These, of course, relates with their activities, but we also see that the costs vary substantially in a per household and per hectare basis, with a higher population density in Indonesia with 15 hectares per household compared to 85 hectares per household in Brazil, gives a higher cost per household in Brazil and a higher cost per hectare in Indonesia. If we disaggregate costs by budget category, we see the importance of personnel costs in Brazil, mostly coming from high salaries and taxes and benefits that are paid for their personnel. Also because this project hides very little consultants. While in Indonesia, the main sources of costs are also personnel, but in additional contractual services. It's important to understand that contractual services, within contractual services are also included some activities that are run by local communities, and these payments are going to these communities. If we disaggregated costs by function, we see clearly that the Brazilian project has a strong focus on community development, while the ecosystem restoration activities are the main source of cost in Indonesia. This is mainly due to the fact that this project is run under the ecosystem restoration concession, which is one of the several pathways for REDD in Indonesia. As a conclusion, it's worth mentioning that REDD Plus costs vary widely among countries and among initiatives. These related mostly with the institutional framework where the REDD Plus initiative is going to take place, and their structure is fundamentally linked with the goals of the project. This research shows the importance of having a flexible design of REDD that allows the initiatives to adapt to the reality of each country. We are also running this research in 4 other projects, so 1 more in Brazil, 1 more in Indonesia, and 2 in Tanzania. So we hope to have a better basis of comparison in the future. And this research being ran in collaboration with the Global Comparative Study in C4, we hope also to be able to compare these costs with the actual curbing in greenhouse gas emissions that are taking place in these places. Thank you.